For 3 long years, the sky over Israel had been like brass. No rain fell. No dew formed. The land was gasping for air, dying under the weight of a silent heaven. Queen Jezebel had brought a dark shadow over the people. She had replaced the worship of the true God with the worship of Baal, a false god of storms and stone. The people were lost, caught between the truth they once knew and the lies Jezebel forced upon them. They were waiting for someone to stand up. Elijah stepped out of the shadows to meet the king. "You have abandoned God's commands," he declared. "Now summon the people to Mount Carmel for a final decision." From every corner of the kingdom, they came. Thousands climbed the steep slopes of Mount Carmel to witness a battle not of swords, but of spirits. On one side stood 450 prophets of Baal, dressed in gold and silk. On the other stood Elijah, alone in his rough cloak. The odds seemed impossible. The challenge was simple: build an altar, but put no fire to it. The God who answers by sending you fire from heaven, he is the true God. The prophets of Baal went first. They danced, they shouted, and they leaped around their altar from morning until noon, crying, "Baal, answer us." But there was no voice. No one answered. Elijah began to tease them. "Shout louder," he said. "Maybe your God is busy or traveling, or perhaps he is fast asleep." They grew frantic, slashing themselves and screaming until the sun began to set. But their altar remained cold and silent. Now it was Elijah's turn. He didn't rush. With great reverence, he began to repair the altar of the Lord that had been torn down and forgotten. He took 12 stones, one for each tribe of Israel. He wasn't just building a pile of rocks. He was rebuilding a relationship between a people and their Creator. He dug a deep trench around the altar, wide enough to hold gallons of water. "Do it again," he commanded. They poured water once, twice, and a third time until the wood was soaking and the trench was overflowing. At the time of the evening sacrifice, Elijah stepped forward. He didn't scream or dance. He simply prayed, "Lord, let it be known today that you are God in Israel." In a heartbeat, the silence was shattered. A roaring pillar of fire descended from the heavens like a sun falling to the earth. The fire hit with the force of 1,000 suns. It didn't just burn the wood, it consumed the meat, the stones, the dust, and even the water in the trench. Nothing was left. The fire of God had licked the ground clean. The demonstration of power was absolute and terrifyingly beautiful. The people fell on their faces, crying out with one voice, "The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God." The spell of Jezebel was broken, but the miracle wasn't finished. The fire had come, but the land was still thirsty. Elijah climbed higher, bowing low to ask for the second half of the miracle. "Go look toward the sea," Elijah told his servant. The servant returned with disappointing news. "There is nothing there." 6 times the servant went. 6 times the sky remained empty. But Elijah didn't waver. He knew that when God starts a work, He finishes it. On the 7th time, the servant gasped. A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea. It was a tiny sign, but it was all Elijah needed. "Run to Ahab," Elijah shouted. "Tell him to hurry home before the rain stops him." The sky grew black with clouds, and the wind began to howl. Then it happened. The first drop, then another. The 3-year silence of the clouds was finally over. A great rain fell. The dry, cracked earth drank its fill. Life was pouring back into the world, washing away the dust of 3 years of despair. The power of God came upon Elijah. He tucked his cloak into his belt and ran, supernaturally fast, outrunning the king's horses all the way to the city gates. Ahab told Jezebel everything: the fire, the prophets, and the rain. Jezebel realized she had lost the battle, but her heart remained as hard as stone. This story teaches us that it only takes one person with courage to change the fate of a nation. Truth isn't found in the size of the crowd, but in the presence of the living God. When you feel outnumbered, remember Elijah. Stand your ground, build your altar, and watch for the fire. For the God who answers by fire is God indeed.
Hi, friends! Do you love learning about Bible stories? I have something special just for you.
At Paradise Bible Explorer for Kids, we share Bible stories that teach God's Word to everyone, helping you grow in faith and understanding.
You can watch all our exciting Bible stories on YouTube. Just search at Paradise Bible Explorer for Kids and start exploring.
And don't forget TikTok. Follow at Paradise Movies for short, meaningful Bible story clips anytime.